Hey and welcome everyone, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Today with another one of those daily movement nuggets, in specific this time about sitting and what one can do in sitting, tiny exercises to incorporate throughout the day to improve your overall well-being and relieve stress if possible. Now, I did this video before just a couple of days ago and it turned out to be 25 minutes long, which is quite a lot. So I decided to break it up. And in this specific video today, I will focus only on one or two main aspects of sitting, especially the breathing element of it, how to sit in order to facilitate breathing that actually reduces stress. And then I'll do a separate video, which will be probably the next or the next one after that, about movement possibilities in there. Now let's get started and jump right into it. So when we are sitting, many of you probably have heard the thing, when you sit, try to pull your shoulders back, sort of expose the chest forward to facilitate that better opening of the chest for proper breathing. Now, what most of you probably have not heard or were not told is the fact that when you do this, you will have mid to long-term consequences from it that are not that desirable. Now, which ones are those consequences? When you sit like this and you pull your shoulders back, you'll automatically shift your breathing higher up into the chest area. This is not a good idea at all. Why? Because it actually triggers shortness of breath. It also supports and facilitates a highly stressful breathing pattern that is very high up in the chest without utilizing the breathing muscles in the way they are supposed to be used. Now, what are our main breathing muscles? Our main breathing muscles are our diaphragm and our abdomen. So the diaphragm sitting here, the abdomen obviously being down here. And now when I inhale, for most people, the belly goes out, the diaphragm sinks down. When I exhale, the belly goes in, the diaphragm goes up. This is what creates this volume exchange in our lungs to actually properly oxygenate the blood, to reduce CO2 levels, reduce acidity in the body, and so on and so on. Now, when I sit like this and I pull my shoulders back, it's very hard to use your belly for breathing. However, you can fill the higher chest with air. This, however, filling the upper chest with air, does two things. First of all, the volume exchange per breath is extremely low, which means that the oxygenation of the blood is reduced. It is also a stress trigger of the body, because normally in a relaxed state, your abdomen and your diaphragm, they will do most of the work. The more stressed you are, the more short your breaths become, the more higher up in your chest you will breathe. And that's also why all of those muscles up here, they are also called auxiliary breathing muscles. Not primary, no, auxiliary. This portion up here should not be used in regular breathing in terms of expansion and contraction. That's when you do a full breath that starts down here. But when you switch it up, you sort of block breathing down here and you increase breathing up here. Pressure on the heart increases, shortness of breath increases, and that obviously both have very detrimental effects on your health in the mid to long term. So I would definitely suggest, do not use postural braces that pull your shoulders back. Do not go with that idea of, I have to lock my shoulders back, push the chest out to work properly. Because if you do this, you actually, on mid to long term, harm yourself more than you do good. Now, that being said, yes, when you slouch down in front like this, it doesn't do the same thing, but it also reduces your capacity to properly inhale and exhale. So that is a problem again, but in the opposite direction. So with this kind of pressure, Again, it's very difficult to breathe both in your belly and your chest, which isn't ideal either. So the truth lies somewhere in between. What you want is a position where your shoulders are relaxed. They are not pulled back. They gently hang on the ribcage, allowing you to use your abdomen, to use your spine, to use a full expansion of your abdominal wall, pushing the diaphragm down, opening of the lower ribcage, and by doing so, actually getting a lot of volume exchange happening in there in full inhalation and then release. Inhalation and then release, which would be a normal breath cycle for most in regular day breathing. Every so often, if you want to break a stress pattern, also go for active exhalation. So not just inhale and then exhale passively, inhale actively, exhale passively, but inhale actively, exhale passively, and then actively press out even a little bit more air, because the more you go into this active exhalation, the more you pay attention to the exhaling part of breathing as well. Psychologically, neuropsychologically, the more you trigger the brain in thinking, oh, hang on, okay, we can actually relax because we are not on high gear. We do not try to fill the lungs and keep the lungs filled. No, there is also this relaxing element to it. So that is very important. Another very important thing regarding breathing is this. Sometimes, not throughout your whole day, but sometimes, please use your backrest. When you sink back like this and you work like this. Now, what I mean is, see to it that you have roughly 135 degrees between your legs and your upper body. This relaxes your psoas. It also allows for your belly to expand and contract, and it facilitates normal abdominal breathing, which automatically takes you out of this high chest, stressful, short breathing. Obviously, if you want to work very focused, you have to sort of get in the game and be in there with your mind, with your body as well. So you won't do your most focused work sitting back like this. That's for sure. But whenever you can, whenever there is portions in your work where you either need to think a little bit or you can relax a little bit more, like checking certain emails and stuff like that, please, by all means, sit back. Do sit back. Open this area up. Open your hip joints up in front, facilitating more flow, more blood flow into your legs as well, and optimizing your breath, expanding your belly, lowering the diaphragm, and contracting the belly, diaphragm being pushed up. This reduces stress tremendously. And then, when you see, okay, this requires my attention, then you get back up, back into the game and do some more stuff. All right, now, that being said, those are the most important nuggets regarding breathing. So try to avoid pulling the shoulders back like this, just as much as being completely slouched down. We're going to talk about the postural elements of that a little more in the next video to come. So from here, how do you actually get yourself up? I'll talk about that in the next video. But for breathing, see to it that your shoulders are relaxed and centered on your body so that your abdomen can actually do the work it's supposed to do. And use this relaxing pose back there for some parts of your work to actually reduce this shortness of breath and optimize oxygenation of the blood. Good. That being said, I'm gonna cut this video for now, and more about how to sit. You also see I sit quite interesting. I have one leg a little further back rather than being completely front on and so on. So we'll talk about that in one of the next videos. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, like always, leave a comment down below or reach out to me. Have a wonderful time and see you around soon. All the best. Bye.